Welcome to podcast
No. We have an introduction now.
But we have to still say hello.
Well, it's fine.
To
We
our
can
people.
start. Well, it's fine. They know we're here. They're like, oh, they're there. Like,
Yeah.
well, okay. Do you want? Okay, you can go. Go ahead.
You know what it feels like? Sometimes when I listen back to the podcast, it sounds like people are entering the conversation like mid-conversation.
See, I love that.
You love it?
I love that so much.
I'm always like, I need like a proper like introduction before.
Well,
I need to be prepped.
We have a great jingle. Okay, so hello, good day, good evening.
I said good day.
I said good day. Kyle, can you turn that down a little bit? Put it at 5 or something on both of them.
1 and 2,
Yeah. Are we good? Yeah, that's good. Yeah?
Yeah.
You get to? Okay. Okay. Hello. How
We could
is
just say
everybody
hello.
doing? Thanks for joining the episode. I hope you guys like the new intro song. We thought it was kind of fun to actually have something a little bit, introductory.
Well, also like personal to us.
Well, it's personal to us, but it wasn't us.
No, I mean like it says our names. I don't know. It feels like so official.
Right.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, it was great. And also, it's official. Also, I wanted to encourage anybody to, not encourage, just wanted to ask, if we have a video podcast. I mean, it's on YouTube. So I don't know if you guys consume podcasts strictly audio, which I think the majority of people do.
Yeah.
But I myself know that when I work on my computer, I like to turn on YouTube. I want to get to that cough here in a second. When I'm listening things or watching, I like to watch things on YouTube. I want to see what the people are doing, their expressions. But obviously in the car, you can't do that.
Yeah, I think majority of mine listen to just audio. But I think like when you're on the computer, I like having something to watch because then it kind of like every once in a while I like to see, like the actual interaction while I'm like working. And
Right.
you do that too.
Yeah, I feel like I'm part of the conversation.
Yes, yeah,
too.
it's a little bit more like you're part of it, and then you can still kind of zone out if you need to, and then come back in. But yeah, in the car or like, do you watch when you're running on the treadmill?
Yes, I always watch when I'm running on treadmill.
I usually listen.
I only listen. Do you listen to music anymore?
Man, every once in a while, I feel like when I really need to get in the zone of like running really hard, I'll do music.
Do you do like EDM?
Because podcasts, like I run, but when I listen, I don't know. I don't get into that like I'm gonna run as fast as I can for like 5 minutes and then like slow, do the intervals. It's harder for me to do intervals and run really fast when I am listening to a podcast.
Interesting.
Music makes me
Lose control.
yes.
Is that there? No.
I don't know the rest, but yes, you're right.
I don't think there is the rest. I think it's just a bunch of heavy, obnoxious beats that are hit after that. I know what you mean in terms of there's a level of escapism
Yes.
that happens
it's
with
like
music.
the upbeat. It like gives you a feeling.
I get the escapism. Well, now it's dangerous because I remember I don't want to spark another conversation about or not ultra marathon, just marathon running. There is you can burn yourself out way too quickly
With music, yeah.
Especially in the very
or
beginning.
doing too much, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because it gets you so hyped. Like, I'm a person that gets affected by music pretty quickly. Like, if something is like a cool beat and it drops, and I'm like, cool, going for a run. You run up the hill out of your house, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden you're just panting.
You're done.
Yeah.
I try to save like the music that are like my favorite songs that just like get me hyped to the end, so I can like do
You
the,
work
like,
it
the,
up. You work it up to
Oh,
like I need
always.
50 beats per second right on this one.
And I always start at like medium, slow, and then I like work my way to like running really
You
fast.
have an incredibly intelligent music playlist set up.
I know. It's like the slower music. It's like
It's so
it's
strategic.
catered to like 5 miles, just perfect.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I remember when I did that half marathon aerobic, I knew that in the very beginning of every half marathon or marathon, there's always people that are standing by, usually in the beginning and the end, are standing
to
by
hype
with
you.
signs. And it's so easy to get like this energy of the people, you're running, this camaraderie, these people are in it.
do.
Everybody's going, go, 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 good job, clapping, and they're celebrating you and celebrating maybe even with you. But you can burn yourself out so quickly. So I remember I strategically turned on like a podcast episode. So I'm
really slow.
and-
Classical music.
No, not even classical music, just a podcast episode where I'm just like hearing two people talk, and it was great.
You
It
do,
did
you
the
have
job.
more of like a rhythm, but I don't know. Music, every once in a while, like maybe like once a week, I'll do music. When I like want a really hard workout.
Also, music makes you it makes you picky. Like, I don't know about you, I can't just turn on music and.
No, I always have to like skip through like 5 songs.
Like we're wasting time.
It has to be like the perfect song.
And I don't do that with podcasts. I'm like, if I turn it on, I'm gonna just listen to these conversations.
That's true. But that's why I tailor a specific playlist to running.
Now, you know what's dangerous also when it comes to podcasts?
I'm sorry, curate, I guess.
What's dangerous about running with a playlist, or not a playlist, but with a podcast sometimes, or working out period, is if somebody's being funny, like a lot of the stand-up comedians that I listen to, that'll make you laugh, and then you're running while you're laughing. Like and then you're getting winded, and you lose your pace, and you're just kind of all over the place. So there's a lot
That's funny. Yeah, but I finally, my first day running or working out in general in a week, more than a week, probably like 10 days. I took like 10 days off.
Today's
first day running.
First day. So today's day 11 that you're actually. Today's day 11 since you've taken. So today's the first day you're working out, which has been 10 days since the day that you started. I'm overcomplicating this. Why? And in 2 more weeks.
Today's the first day. I said today's the first day I worked out in 10 days. So today is day 11 and you started at day 1. And so today.
And in 1 month, it'll be 1 month and 10 days since your last work. I just want to make sure I got it correctly.
Yes.
So am I following? So yeah. I just want to make sure there's clear communication.
I'm so glad you asked because I wasn't clear when I first said it's been 10 days.
Okay, well, that's a great segue. Why don't you tell the people what your cough is about? And I think we need to pull back a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
so what
keep
happened?
the suspense.
Keep the suspense.
Why I have a cough.
10 days ago. Or maybe it was 12 days ago that you started having these, like, you were like, I have allergies.
Mm-hmm. So this was today is Wednesday. It was last Monday. So 10 days ago. So a week.
It's going to be even much more complicated equation for the people who are listening to this podcast because it's not going to come out to like Monday or.
Anyway, 10 days ago.
Okay.
I started, and I've had allergies.
Plus 7 days since the people are going to listen to this podcast.
Oh man! So
we need
someday 10 days ago. Okay. Anyway, I have allergies all the time. So
terrible
I have them
allergies.
I have terrible allergies seasonally. So springtime around May, and then fall around September, October, and usually they're a lot worse in the springtime. I've gotten them so bad that I develop a cough because it's like just constantly irritation in my throat. And I've actually lost my voice a couple times from allergies, which is crazy.
From coughing so much? Is that why you're losing your voice?
It's just like the way it affects my throat. Something like
so does
it's
flare
like
up.
Irritating. It flares up. Mm-hmm. Like when you have a cold, it's the same thing. Your throat is irritated. It's like raw. It's the same thing with allergies. It's just a different cause. So anyway, I have
and you get them in the spring. Do
you get them? You don't get them.
I have zero allergies. I have
which
Viking
is crazy because I'm
genetics.
pretty sure Beckham gets them too. Every time he goes outside, he starts sneezing and running nose, and I'm like, can you get allergies at 6 years old? I guess.
Well, that's why. Well, I would imagine so, especially with kids getting asthma at the age of like 2.
That's true. So I feel bad for him because he's probably gonna have to.
So he got your weak genetics. Jack got my strong Viking genetics.
Yeah, Jack.
So you get your flare-ups in the spring. You get them in the fall.
So I've been having a running nose and like the occasional sneezing here and there, itchy eyes.
I wouldn't call them occasional.
No. I'm saying just recently.
Oh, okay.
My flare up has happened. Started probably middle of September. You think?
So that would have been 27 days ago.
and 5
plus from the point that people are listening to this podcast.
So that's day 28. Oh man, Kyle's not amused
because he knows exactly when all this happened.
He knows.
So
anyway, boring story about
no, I think people are fascinated about I think they're fascinated.
Tell me more about your allergies.
So they happen in the spring and the fall? That's interesting. Okay.
Oh, tell me more. What are they like?
Is it just the runny nose, or is also you get the sneezing?
What days in particular do you get it?
Interesting.
Is it every other weekend?
Somebody is working out in such a boring way right now.
Oh, sorry, people.
So
we'll spice it up a little.
Okay, so let's get to the exciting part.
So I have been having allergies. They started getting really bad on a particular Monday 10 days ago. Oh, I can't. And I just like would have a runny nose, and it was just like sneezing. I couldn't stop sneezing. Runny nose. I mean, the classic symptoms, runny, itchy eyes. But then I would like wake up with a sore throat, and which has happened too, because it's all like connected. And then we
went to get a family.
We did family photos, and
you're sneezing up a storm.
I was sneezing so bad, but that's like, we're outside. Of course, I'm gonna be sneezing, you know. Anyway, we get home, and that night I remember like we ordered sushi.
Don't get Kyle started about sneezing outside. We once did a project outside painting, and it set him back a while.
Do you have allergies too, Kyle?
Yeah, really.
Oh, yeah. So he knows. He feels my pain.
But what's interesting about his allergies and your allergies, it's almost like you could almost tell the seasons are changing.
Yeah.
With his allergies, you can pinpoint to the time that he was outside when they started.
Oh, mine is just like, even if I'm in the house, I still get it. Something like in the air is around. Mm-hmm. You know what the weird part is, going back to allergies? I wake up with like the most stuffed up nose. My eyes are actually, I have like the puffy eyes.
I'm so lucky to wake up next to you every single day.
I look beautiful.
What
an angel. Stuffy nose. I get like the puffy eyes. They're like itchy. My throat hurts. All of it. And then by like midday, I'm fine. And then it happens again at night. So it's like very particular time of day too, which is so weird.
Okay. That's so lady
That's so
of your allergies.
It's very
it has to be on your terms.
Yeah. So weird to me. But that's when it happens.
So we went to go get the photo shoot, and you were sneezing up a storm. You were outside. You were kind of going off of that. Then we got sushi that night because we got home too late, because every photographer wants to have that perfect
it was
evening
like
glow light.
Almost 9 when we got home. Yeah.
Right.
And you ordered sushi, and you ate it. We were like hanging out outside on the back patio, and then I wasn't feeling great or something.
Possibly.
Why did I eat? I ate the sushi in bed.
You ate it in bed? Yeah. Maybe it's from all the sneezing. I thought you went to go take a bath and you're having sushi bath, which I was like, that's a baller move.
It's a baller. Sushi, bed, and wine. Or sushi, bath, and wine.
Bath, wine. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's the way kings do it.
I just need like some grapes. Somebody feed me grapes, and then I'll be...
Well, there's no point for break. You got sushi.
Yeah.
But no king's getting
No, we
sushi.
put the kids down, and I don't know why. I must have not been feeling good. I had the sushi in bed, and I remember like eating it and going like, this tastes so weird. And it's the classic rolls we always get, and all I could taste was like the wasabi, and that was basically it. And I was like, did I put too much on there? Because I put it in the soy sauce.
So it didn't
like
taste
normal
spicy.
People.
It didn't taste spicy.
It wasn't spicy. It was just that like that
horseradishy.
Like, yeah, that very specific horseradishy.
Yeah,
that's hard to say.
Well, and it's
because it's so strong.
I would describe it as something that kind of clears your nasal passages, right?
Yeah,
like you feel it in the back of your nasals.
Yeah. Except I didn't feel that. It was just the taste of it.
Interesting.
I didn't feel it in my nose. It was the weirdest thing.
Wasabi or horseradish would taste.
And I just remember like not liking it. I'm like, oh, maybe like I'm just not hungry. It tastes weird to me. Maybe because of all my allergies.
And you can't blame the sushi because you gave me the 2 pieces that you didn't finish, and they tasted just fine to me. It was like a spicy tuna.
Yeah, and I was like, what's wrong with me? Maybe it's like I just don't feel good because of my allergies. I went to bed, woke up the next morning feeling awful, just awful.
What did you feel? Just you feel like your
all
head's...
of it, like so the congestion. I think that whole night I kept sneezing into like clean. You slept in bed that night, right?
I did sleep in bed. Mm-hmm.
A bed.
No.
Yeah. So like I just remember because we didn't have tissue, so I just brought toilet paper into the room and just like kept unrolling it every time my nose would be running, and at one point I just stuffed toilet paper up my nose so it would stop leaking. Which
honestly, the whole toilet paper
it's the same thing.
I don't understand why people need to go buy an actual Kleenex box.
It just looks better than having toilet paper out on your like counter.
Yeah, but I mean, who's it for? Like, is right now nobody's got the sniffles. Do we have toilet paper on the counter? No.
Yeah. I just had it like on the nightstand,
and we don't have a Kleenex box in the counter too.
We don't really have, because it's like if we need to wipe something, or I just use paper towels, which is probably ouch.
I've used paper towels to wipe my butt. Okay, so because we've been out of toilet paper and we've been too close to the kitchen.
But
like, go in there, you see there's no toilet paper, you don't want to go to the other side of the house, you're just gonna take a couple of sheets and then go in.
You do like half.
You don't come in after you're done to go get it. You premeditatively go in with it, which I'm all for. I mean, it probably doesn't break down as well in the sewage system, but
Oh yeah, it's terrible probably
they
for
have
that.
to catch me now.
Nobody will. It's too late. It's already happened.
I'm on the run. It's been 7 days plus 27 days since you've listened to this podcast.
Yes. So you'll never know when it came out. So yeah, the whole night I was just like tossing and turning, just snot running down my nose.
I'm such a lucky guy.
I know.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So then I woke up with like the biggest headache, just like the, all the what is it called? Congestion. My like whole body ached. It's just like with that feeling.
You did have muscle aches?
Yeah,
Oh.
I did. But maybe it was just like everything hurt. So then I was kind of like, I don't know. It's like the placebo effect of like,
the body the mind will mess with you.
Yeah. So maybe it was that because everything kind of started. I woke up. I mean, I didn't feel good, but I still got out of bed. I like, was like, maybe my allergies are just this bad, which they have been. Got out of bed. Like, it was Monday morning. So, getting the boys ready for school. And then while I'm getting ready, I noticed that Harper had the lavender essential oil. She was playing with it. It was closed, people. But she was playing with it and like dropped it on the floor. So I pick it up and I'm like, open it just to smell it. I don't know why. Maybe I was like already thinking I was sick. And so
your mind's
I opened
creeping
it.
up
Yeah.
to it,
I
huh?
opened it to like smell it and I like smell it and nothing. Could not smell a single thing. And that lavender essential oil is strong.
It's potent. It's so potent that if
You
it's
can smell
open,
it like a mile away. Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Maybe like half a mile.
I still don't know about that. Like if it's in the same room and somebody just
You can
opened
smell
up the
it.
thing,
Yeah.
there you go.
You
So
can smell it. Like I'll have it accidentally like, leave, get on my fingers and I'll smell it hours later because it's that strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I can't smell it. And I remember like walking into the office and I'm like, well, I officially can't smell anything.
I know you brought the lavender thing.
Because I asked Jack, I'm like, maybe this is like just out,
Yeah.
which you would still smell it even if
Sure.
it was out. And I was like, can you smell this? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, is that strong? He's like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so weird.
So your
Can't
mind
smell.
goes to like,
Yes.
I got COVID.
My mind's like,
I
I
got the
can't
vid.
smell. It's COVID.
I got
the vid.
I got the vid. You know
Got
what?
the C19.
The C9. I don't know that that's worse than the vid or the C19 sounds like an undiscovered venereal disease.
It does. I don't like it.
So all of a sudden we go on full lockdown.
Oh, I could not believe the level of like you on the lockdown. Like you are such a problem solver. You're like immediately, you go lay in bed. You're not allowed out. Why are you even standing next to me not
Yeah.
wearing a mask if
Yeah.
you can't smell anything? It was like immediate, like a I don't know, turn of a page. He had me go in the room and it was like,
Usually it's a flip of a switch, people
oh,
say.
I couldn't think of it. Turn of a page.
That's the least exciting thing. Ready, set, flip the page. When I flip this page, you guys starting this race.
Just so quick. You just flip a page so quick. I couldn't think of it, and I didn't
Sure.
want to like sit there going, how do you
It's the
say
tie
it?
of a shoelace. It's the closing of the,
The
door.
close of a door.
Girl.
I couldn't think of
All right,
it.
so the flip of a switch, I went on full out
You
lockdown.
were like full.
Were you surprised?
Yeah. Well, no, because you tend to get that way whenever I'm sick anyway. You go lay down. I have soup. I'm going to have soup ready. I'm going to bring you your medication every 4 hours. I'm going to
God, I sound incredible.
dad duty.
Kyle, don't I sound good right now?
Yeah.
This is how.
But there is one. I mean, you were doing awesome and you were incredible. But I feel like
Was that too much?
no. You used to be a little bit more like compassionate.
You know,
When I used to
Was
be
I
sick,
mean?
when no, you're not mean. You're just kind of like neutral,
I was neutral.
very neutral, which is fine. I'd rather have you be neutral than be like,
So
get, whatever, figure it out.
Go and get, yeah.
Go and get, figure it out yourself.
Turn the page.
So, but I feel like when we first got married, it used to be a lot more like compassionate. Like, are you doing okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like, can I make you eggs? Are you, blah, all this cute stuff. And now you're just like, I'll give you your medicine. I'll make you your soup, but I'm not talking to you.
Really? Well, it's not like you're trying to talk. You have this
No.
thing is like you stare. Like you'll stare, like you'll come in and I don't know if the word is like because it's a mean word. I don't think that's you were doing that. Like, you know, when somebody's like sobbing, right? They're like, or moping. Like, I guess it's the better word. Like,
mopey.
people are like, just like,
I am mopey sometimes.
and just like look, and you're
I
like,
want you to look at them.
yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to be productive right now. Like, it's one thing if like it's Sunday and we're like watching TV and you're like, I just want to cuddle. I'm like, cool. Like, you know,
which you still don't do.
it has to be the right moment.
You're like, today, this is your idea.
Listen, we'll book you from 3 to 3:15.
Also, you can't relax. This is you going. I remember there was a few times where you're like, today I'm gonna do nothing but lay on the couch and watch football the whole day.
Yeah. How long did I last?
After church, like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You're like, well, that was fun. Now I'm gonna go in the garage and like build some stuff or like clean
organize.
out. Yeah.
A lot of times organize.
I remember going like, what? You said you were gonna lay on the couch all day. I was prepared for it. You couldn't last.
You cleared your schedule. You're like, he's just gonna be in his pajamas.
Snuggle with him. Nope.
I can't sit still. It's miserable to me. I remember forcing myself to watch a movie, and I will put my phone on the kitchen counter, and I will sit, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch this movie, a movie that I want to watch, obviously. And I'm not gonna look at my phone. I'm not gonna look at my watch. I'm just gonna watch and be present with this movie. And it was not easy. Like, I can't just stop that.
Turn it off. Yeah.
Because I enjoy work. I enjoy productivity.
You also enjoy like the go.
Yes.
Mindset.
Yes, I'm very much of keep the momentum, keep going.
Yeah. So you don't want to lose that.
It's very difficult, especially like coming out of like if I take some time off and then I come back to like, okay, we're getting back to like productivity and creating content. Sometimes I'm like, I just don't want to do anything like those Mondays, but you know, I usually kick myself out of it by having like a workout.
Right.
But it's I know exactly what you mean about the kind of being so neutral and it's, I guess here's what the way I perceive all this, at least the way I receive all this information. So like, boom, you're like, you're positive. We're assuming you're positive, right? Because like we all have heard all the
it was every symptom you could have.
Every symptom that they've said, the loss of smell. And then the
final thing was the loss of smell. And I was like, oh,
well, that's it. Because you've never had the flu or a cold with no sense of smell. So right out of the gates, I'm like, okay, you got it. I still have a production to run here.
Right.
And so obviously, I'll take the kids to school. You go in there. I gave you like an N95 mask. And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, crap, you were coughing the last 3 days. I've been in the car with you. I've been in bed with you.
Yeah. This was an allergy.
Am I keeping this? Am I carrying this?
Right.
So
it was funny though, because you were like so flight or flight. You're like, you walked into the room, you're like, here's your mask. Here's your like Dayquil. Here's all your vitamins. I already called Kyle, he's not coming. I called my parents, they're not coming this weekend. Like, I'm going to go take the boys to school. I'm going to take Harper with me. And it was just like, I'm like, okay.
Well, because I mean, a lot of it is just kind of like, I'm going to put this fire out.
Yes. You need to have your affairs in order.
I had to have my affairs in order because, my parents were coming down from Seattle over to visit us here. They have compromised immune systems. So I was like, I called them. I was like, hey, don't come. Here's what's happening. I called Kyle and I go, hey, just to let you know, here's what's happening. We're assuming she's positive based off all these symptoms. We're not going to be filming. And so he stayed home. I stayed with the kids. I went to go, and I did that. I doubled up on all of your medications and stuff like that. I went and scheduled a testing because I was like, who knows? And here's going back to what we're talking about, how your mind plays tricks on you. I started feeling, because seeing... people are gonna love all the coughing that you're doing.
I know. I don't know where to I just can't.
It's whatever. It is what it is. But
it's allergies.
It's allergies. And so what was I going with this? Oh, so I started having this like, it's almost like, I don't want to say post-nasal drip, but like a sinusy, like my eyes are getting a little watery. And I was like, oh, I wonder if I got something coming, and then. I obviously slept. You quarantined in our bedroom. You stay there the whole time. I was in the boys' bedroom. And Beckham was really nice. He gave me his bed. He slept with Jack. Cute. And I didn't sleep well, and I don't sleep well already. And here I am sleeping in not my bed. Yeah, twin-size bed, which it's still enough room, but it's not your bed. I usually sprawl out when I sleep, and some days like it was hot in their room, so I had to open up a window. Now I'm sleeping with the window open. And so maybe a lot of it was attributed from it. But I literally, my mind went to this place of, you're sick. You got it. You're going to be spreading it. And
I probably got it.
I probably got it. And what's interesting is, like, both of us were out of the gates when this thing even started. First, everybody was nervous, and they're like, what is this? We don't want to spread it. Then we've heard more cases of people having, or, some of the people that we know. And then, some people are just saying, like, it's a terrible feeling of a cold or a terrible flu. Some people had, they had to go to the ER because they had difficulty breathing and whatnot. But knowing how active we are, we work out 6 days a week. We eat well, clean. We don't eat junk food. I've been taking the same vitamins religiously every single day to strengthen the immune system: vitamin C, vitamin D, quercetin, zinc, and fish oil. And so we've both felt like if we're gonna get it, I'm sure we're gonna be fine. It's always like, don't be that jerk that spreads it to somebody else. Yeah. And so that was my thing. It was like, how do I make sure that nobody else got it? So I went and scheduled a rapid test, and really excited that it was negative. And from that point, I felt confident from that point, going, okay, so as long as we keep you quarantined, this is not going to go anywhere else. It's just going to stay here, where it's going to die off, and we'll be better in 7 to 10 days, or 10 days, I think, is after the quarantine, they said to be done.
Yeah. I mean,
so that's where my shut it down. It wasn't from fear. It was more of like, I think it's the responsible thing to do.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I think the last thing, you want to do is, okay, we got it somehow, or I thought I did. And how do we, not spread it to other people, which is like, or, I think I didn't want you to get it. I didn't want the kids to get it. Like, that's a whole other, like, they'll be out of school for 10 days. I'll have to like homeschool them. God forbid.
Well, homeschool them like while you're sick, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. They're not learning anything. They're going to learn on the TV.
Oh my gosh. I'm a terrible teacher. But it's just all of that. Yeah. Like, that's a whole nother level of like, you wouldn't be able to work.
That's another thing that was super, I think that made me kind of go a little bit cold is how do I phrase this? I've worked so hard to build this machine, if you will, and I've sacrificed so much to get to a place that I'm at, that when it's somebody else coming in the way to like interfere with that, it really bothers me. And I know I sound like a real jerk when it's like your family, but
so I was an inconvenience to you.
Yes, we're not making money. It was so to me, it really kind of triggers me when, it's like, hey, when
but you also like going back to, you don't want to lose the momentum. So it's like being even a few days, not being able to work, you've already lost the, like, you feel like you're behind.
I 100% feel like I'm behind. And a lot of it comes
from, to feel that way,
from schooling, where schooling was so difficult for me that, I barely passed, middle school and high school with C's and D's. It was just so hard for me to like concentrate, that I remember when I was even sick, where there was like a classical cold and I had to miss school, I felt by missing a day or two, I'm like a month or two behind with assignments. I'm way behind everybody, and I already suck. And so to me, I constantly have this famine mentality that all of this could be over. And so you
have to like always stay ahead, or stay like afloat. Just enough.
Right.
Yeah.
So like if my people can't come over here and work, like we can't create content. And I had to almost like go back to how we did things in the very beginning stages, where I had to like whip out a tripod, and we actually had to shoot, well, not we, but I had to shoot some of the content like that, where I had to get the tripod out and, record it like a good old fashioned days, and then send it to Kyle and have him, put that in the edits. And, it's fortunately I have that opportunity to do that, if I'm not sick, and, it's just a quarantining thing. But it's a fear driven thing. And I had to remind myself a few times, kind of like, hey, you have enough of a leg forward with this. Like you're far enough. You can absorb a few days of no work. But it's just a constant back and forth. It's a constant back and forth. I was like, get your family squared away, get everybody healthy. And then when everybody tests negative, you can go pack, and it'll be fine.
So you, you were able to schedule a test pretty quickly. So you scheduled it for, let's see, I woke up Wednesday morning feeling crappy, and you were able to get a test
Saturday morning. That was the earliest that they had it. So I just kept wearing a mask, you know.
So, and I scheduled one maybe like Thursday. So I woke up Wednesday not feeling good. Thursday, I looked up like testing site centers, whatever.
You can say testing sites.
Sites, that's what I was going to say, but it didn't sound right.
Because it sounds like it's an attempt, huh?
Yeah, it does. Which sometimes they are, but I could not, there was nothing available. I think you took probably like one of the last slots, or maybe somebody canceled and you like were able to get that slot. I called
them and I said, I'll pay you triple so I get me before my wife comes in.
And they were like, sure, yeah. And so the soonest I could do ended up being Friday, which is the day before yours, but the only test they had was the PCR. Is that what it's called?
PCR, yeah, which PCR. I don't know what it stands for. Do you know what it stands for? Kyle, do you know what it stands for? PCR? PCR. Something results, something precision, clinical. I bet you something clinical results. Are you looking at? Oh, are we doing our first? Hey, can you look that up, Kyle?
Yeah, look it up, Kyle.
PCR.
So you did the rapid test.
I did the rapid test. It's the nasal swab. Which
yeah,
is
and they didn't have
easy.
Any of those available.
Just go. Yeah, I think they have
the PCR is also nasal, but it takes. So your tests are like within 15 to 30 minutes. Mine, they said. Initially, when they first started doing this test, it was like 24 hours. But because everything is so behind and so many people are getting tested that I think they told me the lead time would be, or it would be like 48 to 72 hours.
Right. And you got it on the weekend. So I think that
was my problem. It was the weekend. It was a Friday at 4.
Because they give you that disclaimer. It's like weekends, you know.
Throw it at us, Kyle. What is it?
What is it?
Polymerase chain reaction.
Not even close.
Not even the R. Reaction.
Polymerase chain reaction. Okay, now we know. We learned something special on this podcast.
So I went on
because they actually send it to a physical lab versus all these other places. It's just like a kit. It's a
yeah. That's the difference. It's like mine was a lot more thorough, which is probably a good thing because I was the one that was sick.
100%.
For you, the rapid test is fine because you weren't.
No,
really
I didn't
sick.
I didn't have any symptoms.
But I wanted the rapid test because I wanted to know if I needed to quarantine for 14 days or if I could get out of the room and not wear a mask. And that was like really hard for me to. I wanted, because by Friday, I actually felt okay. I got really sick Wednesday. Thursday, probably a little bit the same, but maybe like 10% better. Friday, I was like 50% better.
I think you came and tried doing the dishes.
Yes, I did. And then started coughing.
You're wearing an N95 mask. And
I was wearing the mask, which doing anything in the house while wearing a mask, that mask in particular, because it really, I mean, it's a good mask.
Yeah.
Nothing gets out of it.
It's not like you're wearing one of those neck gaiters or bandanas.
Yeah, no. This is a legit mask. And so like by Friday I felt better. And I was like, was this COVID? Because I probably shouldn't be feeling better by this point. And
maybe I resurrected you because
you did with your vitamins.
I hit you so hard and then I gave you vitamins. No, I'm kidding. I hit you so hard with vitamins. You didn't get that domestic violence joke.
No.
Oh man,
you
never want to let a good domestic violence joke go to waste.
Sorry, next one I'll catch it.
I gave you I tripled down on the amount of the dosages. I think I gave you like a day like 15,000 IUs of vitamin C. Like
don't know 10, what that means, but sure, a lot.
I mean they're pretty strong units. Yeah. And
you resurrected me.
And not my, but our neighbor is a nutritionist and dietitian, and they have their own like nutrition health shop and stuff. And he's has got his master's and PhD, I believe, in health and nutrition. And I asked her, I ran that by him. I was like, hey, I hit her with this and the other thing when it comes to vitamins, and he was like, oh yeah, that's exactly what you should have done. And I was like, and I'm using these ones. If anybody's listening that's wanting to know like a good, because apparently with a lot of supplements, specifically vitamins, there's a lot of scoundrels out there that are trying
scoundrels.
There's a bunch of I guess
Like fake?
They're not fake. They just have so much filler inside of them
I see, yeah.
that your body doesn't absorb it. A lot of the fillers include waxes and all that stuff. So it might have a high dosage in there, but your body can't absorb. They don't have absorbative properties.
And where's the wax? Inside or like the capsule?
I don't know. We're actually going to have him on the podcast to educate us, which I think is going to be really fun. But yeah, no. So a lot of these new vitamins, your body, like if you go to Albertsons, the majority of the stuff that's there, your body can't absorb the majority of it. And so I told him that I use Thorne, Thorne, and I got it on Amazon. And he said that is exceptionally good product, and that he sells it at his store. And most of the time, you can't just get it. So you can either get it on Amazon, or you have to have a distributor that is licensed to carry it. But apparently Thorne, if anybody's out in the market for a good supplement, I don't think I could vouch and be like, oh my gosh, my life changed from a high doses of vitamin C.
But who knows? Maybe there were so many times you could have gotten sick and you didn't.
Well, and that's what I think is from those kind of things. So that was the kind of
the immune system is just, which you won't feel that, but you.
Right. It's just being able to fight it off.
Yeah.
Being counter. It's not as bad.
Or like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Kind of ahead of the game.
Ahead of the game. Can't think
You're not doing good with this.
Words are hard.
You should try some of this Alpha Brain that I got from.
Have you tried it?
I have. So
what do you feel?
Nothing at all.
Because you're already so up here. You don't need that.
You're not wrong. You know, maybe it's like for the commoners or below. And
they need to like get up to your level.
To me, like when you're already at level 9.
Yeah.
No, but it's supposed to promote like hyper focus, right?
Yeah.
But retaining information. But I would imagine the feeling that I would get from it. So there's a lot of nootropics in there. So nootropics kind of create new neural pathways in your brain. And I would imagine I had maybe a feeling of like maybe taking an Adderall, because I remember Adderall really helped me kind of like put things in boxes and compartments. But it didn't do any of that. Like I didn't feel any more of like focused alert or anything. I did notice one thing is, and somebody said that this is what they had as well, is dreams. They mess with your dreams. Like I would have, because I would take it.
I don't like that. I don't like having weird bad dreams.
Well, no, not that, but just funky. Like I didn't have any bad dreams. Like maybe like just classic, normal one. But
what's a classic normal one?
But like, okay, here's an example. Here's what I mean by funky. Most people have like 1 or 2 dreams a night, right?
Yeah.
Most part, it's probably 1, right? They get into that REM cycle. I remember I would have like maybe 15 dreams. Like I'd wake up, fall back asleep, wake up, have 1 dream, wake up, fall. Because I don't sleep, I don't have a deep sleep. And so I'll wake up, toss to one side and fall asleep. And I might go into a dream or just maybe finish a dream. But that's like one and done. I had like 15 one time I counted. Like it's like a story after story after story. And I wonder if that's what the weird dreams were. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just a weird night. But
maybe that's where it like goes in your brain.
Yeah,
it's
maybe.
Like a dream.
Perhaps.
Interesting.
So nothing crazy happened from there. But
are you still taking them?
I still have them. They're pricey.
Yeah.
I paid $140. $140. Well, it's a bottle, and you're supposed to take like 4 of those pills, and each pill is like the size of a fish oil pill. You know how it's like giant?
Huge.
I mean, there's
of course there's like 10 pills in there.
Right. No, I'd imagine if you were sticking to like a 30-day regimen, I'm pretty sure it's like a month's supply. Yeah. But $140 for that, and you buy it from a private company, so no insurance is ever going to cover it. So it's such
for something that doesn't really feel like it works.
Right. If it's one thing, I've heard people taking that stuff if they're trying to cram for a test or they've got to go like and be on stage or something like that, and they need to retain information. But that's not me. Like I don't need to retain it. So I can't imagine, especially not feeling it. I can't imagine like figuring it. Listen, if somebody gave me a small dosage of Adderall, I'd be like, hey, I'm going on stage. Give me that. I know how to function with this.
Yeah. But like going back to like getting tested. So I felt fine Friday. And honestly, I only lost my sense of smell and taste for 1 day. I remember that it was like that Wednesday. I couldn't smell anything. I could taste like a tiny bit, but it was only if it was like a strong, so like salt, I could kind of taste a little.
Something overpowering.
Yeah. It feels like very strong. But that was about it. And then by Thursday, I was like, oh, I can kind of like smell stuff. And then by Friday, 100%.
Now,
basically.
your nose wasn't like stuffed up, so you couldn't smell
It
things.
was stuffed up, but it wasn't. But I can still smell usually when my nose is stuffed
Right.
up. I can still
You
smell.
could, if you can breathe through your nose, then
Yeah.
it's probably not that stuffed up.
So I don't know what that was. That was weird. And then so Friday, I took my test. I did like the swab. I went through the Walgreens like drive-through. Did that, but yeah, it was a weekend. So they told me usually by 48 hours, but because it was a weekend, I didn't get my results till Monday night.
And you
try
to speed up the process too.
I scheduled another like test. I tried
test.
to. So there's like some urgent care clinics here that just do walk-ins, but I didn't realize that they have like they meet their like quota for the day and that's it. So by 1 p.m. almost every single day by 1 p.m. they're done. They can't take any more people. They're done for the day testing.
For the day testing.
And I don't know what that means. Like, do they just have a limited supply of COVID tests for one day?
Yes,
or
I think so.
is it like they can only take a certain amount of people because I don't know because it's an urgent care clinic too. So it's like they have other people in there for other medical reasons.
Right. It also doesn't help that we're going into the cold and flu season
That's
right
true.
now.
And that was like, so I went to 2 different urgent care clinics, thinking, and I mean, it was a Sunday, but I was like, and they're open till 8 on Sundays. And I was like, surely people are not going in on Sundays.
Don't call me Shirley, okay?
First of all, don't call me Shirley. I don't know. I was like hoping that people would stay home on Sundays and not go get tested.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted the rapid test just to know, because I was feeling fine. I still had like a stuffy nose, cough, like my throat was raw, but that was just from coughing.
A storm, yeah.
And I have that like, it's the only reason I have a cough now is like that. It's basically like that post-nasal drip where it's like the mucus.
Are you going to huck up a loogie?
I feel like I do every time I cough.
Do it on
bad.
like these really nice microphones that people can.
But that's what it is. That's all just like the leftover like mucus that I keep coughing up.
Falling off. Yeah.
So it's like I'm not. It's nothing, but it just sounds bad.
This is so gross.
Basically.
Let's talk about your bowel movements next. I would love to get input on that.
Yes. So I was like frantic because I felt fine, but you kept shunning me to the room.
It was frustrating too. I mean,
I'd be like wearing
you
a
made
mask.
me look like a bad guy too.
I know. Well, I just got so stir crazy, and I was like, if I feel fine, I hate. First of all, there's 2 reasons. I hate just like laying and doing nothing when I feel fine.
Welcome to my life every single day.
And then second of all, like I wanted to help you. I wanted to do the dishes. I wanted to like clean the house. I wanted to be productive and do something and pick the kids up from school. Like I just wanted to be able to help you because I felt helpless before that. But I kept getting shunned to my room.
There was a moment, I think,
banished.
You were like, I think it was like a Saturday or something like that, and you're like trying to make dinner, and I'm in the living room, you're in the kitchen, and I've kind of gotten tired of like asking you to put a mask on or like not touch the baby or something like that, because I'm like, hey, you could spread it, or like I'll walk into the room and like you would have the mask off and you'd be confident. I'm like, hey, like if you have it, like it's going on countertops and like somebody grabs it, like I don't want to feel like the floor is lava constantly. And you started giving me like, but I'm far away from you. I'm like, yeah, but that's not how this thing works, And so
I got into a dark place because there's nothing worse than like being a parent and not being able to like snuggle your kids for days and not kiss them and just like hang out with them, And so that was really hard for me. I think after day like 3, I was so over it. And I was like, I can't, like, I love my kids so much. I want to spend time with them. I want to give them kisses. And it was rough. And then like not being able to do bedtime. And I think that's when I was like, this is the worst. I hate this so much. And then I wasn't sleeping well because you weren't in bed with me, and I sleep terrible when I'm by myself. And yeah, so
there's a service out there I heard you can pay for. There's like a snuggle buddy that comes.
Yeah, I've heard of
like
those.
They
still
person. Do those? I hope
probably not anymore because of COVID, but they're wearing a mask. Yeah, that was rough. And it was like I kept looking at my email like, surely
You can call me Shirley.
Can I call you Shirley? Is that okay?
It's fine.
Like my test will come through, you know, and then it didn't the whole week. Oh my gosh.
Kyle's like, what room did you put me in with this person?
It's allergies.
Okay, so finally, let's fast forward a little bit. So you finally, it was a Saturday or Sunday or Monday?
Monday.
It was Monday.
No, sorry.
No, it was Monday.
Was it Monday?
It
Yeah,
was
it was
Monday.
Monday. Yep. So you took the kids to school. I wore the mask the whole day because I had Harper, and you had to work by then. And by then I was like, I don't think I had COVID because it couldn't have been that fast. Like 2 days, maybe 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of already like, I bet it's going to come back negative. And I already had this feeling it would. But, you know, part of you still like, well, I lost, you know, my sense of smell, my taste for a little bit.
Symptoms.
All the symptoms were there. I even had this like on Wednesday or Thursday, I had that like feeling of just like not shortness of breath, but just like heavier breath where it's like you can feel it, you know, when you have that like respiratory stuff going on.
Yeah, I think that's still considered shortness of breath.
Yeah, yes. Which I still get that with allergies too because it's all
Wow, there's a lot
same.
of attitude in that one.
Yeah. Anyway, so Monday I was really feeling off. So I made dinner with mask on because you told me to put it on.
Oh, you rolled your eyes so badly.
I rolled my eyes, but I did it. I put it on. And then I made dinner, and I told you dinner's ready, and I grabbed a bottle of wine and a glass, and I went to our bedroom, and I was like, dinner's ready. And you're like, you're not eating. And I was like, nope.
You were so mad at me.
I was pretty.
I think
I
that's
wasn't
what it
mad
was.
at you. I was really mad at the situation.
Yeah.
Which sucked. And I remember you came in the room after you guys ate, and you're like, are you mad at me? And I was like, no. He's like, you look sad. And I'm like, I am sad. Like, this sucks. I am so mad at this whole, you know, situation. And you're really cute because you were trying to be really sweet and like, do you want food? Can I bring you more food? Can I bring you some wine? Do you want some dessert? And I was like, no, I don't want anything. I just want to drink my wine.
Drink
my bottle of wine.
Sorrows away.
And as like, it was like 10 minutes later, I'm like sitting there.
I'm watching TV in the other
with my
room.
phone, and I get the email, finally, your test results is ready. So I click on it, and it was like, your test result isn't, you're negative for COVID-19. I was like,
You came out and you're like,
and I sent you the picture because I was like, I'm gonna send it to him first, and then I'm gonna make him. I'm gonna pull a power move.
Make me come to you?
Send him the picture. Make him come to me and tell me he's sorry.
And after you were sitting there for hours and hours,
no, it was like
came.
5 minutes and you didn't come, and I was like, oh damn it, I'm gonna go get him. So I walked out without a mask, and I was like,
Right.
Did you get my picture?
Yeah, and I thought it was a nude. I was like, here's a nudie picture in a mask.
In my mask.
Nope. And I was like, I
No.
looked at it. I was like reading something. I was like, oh, negative for COVID-19.
Yeah,
I was like,
oh, is this mine?
and I was like, nice.
You're like, oh, cool. I was like,
Which, yeah,
Okay.
all of a sudden it's like this big sigh of relief for you.
Yeah.
And like you finally came back to your
Yeah.
normal self.
it was just, and I was like,
So
oh
do
my
you
gosh, I'm throwing that thing away.
So do you think I'm convinced you did have it. And the reason I say that is because I've heard numerous stories of people who tested positive and then after like 3 days tested negative. And then I've heard people tested positive for a week straight and,
Yeah.
and even more
Or
than
like
that.
10, yeah.
But I've heard multiple stories.
I
of people
honestly
tested
can't tell
positive
you
for 3.
because I started with having allergies. It's like I had 2 things at once, so it's hard to like pull those apart. So I either had COVID and allergies, but only for like a few days, unless I had symptoms. I was asymptomatic for a while, and then by the time I had symptoms, it was like the last leg of it. Or I had a cold and allergies at the same time. Don't know.
Yeah.
We'll never know, but I tested negative, and it was the PCR, which is a lot more thorough, and it's pretty accurate compared to the rapid test. And so, I mean, and I felt fine, and it's like, I'm like, most people are down for like a week or 2 weeks when they have COVID. So I don't know.
Well, maybe you got a little bit of the Ukrainian Viking genes.
I mean, you always say we have Viking genes.
Well, I have Viking genes. I never said you have Viking genes. You have allergies.
I have like medium.
Have you ever seen a Viking going to war with allergies?
Yeah. What's the step below Viking genes? Because I probably have that.
I don't know, like Kyle. What is it, like a
caveman?
No, not a caveman. It's what's in if in their like hierarchy. If you have perhaps a merchant, you could be a merchant, right? Who else is there?
What is it called? The shoe maker?
Yeah,
the
you could be a shoemaker. You could be a tent maker. Yeah, there's a lot of really good positions. I mean, definitely not a Viking.
Yeah, definitely not the fighter. Yeah, the warrior.
We don't need somebody to go to battle and getting the sniffles. We don't want to do that.
Listen, well, I'm the step below, so
yeah,
it's hard. Yeah,
you're second in command.
Honestly, second. The assistant to the regional manager, if you will.
Exactly. Listen, I
love it though.
We're glad. We're thankful that you're doing good. We're thankful that it was it wasn't worse than what we thought it would be. All in all. If anybody listening to this, if you have your own story, we'd love to hear it. Read us, a comment below if you're on YouTube. We'd love to hear if yours was bad, if it wasn't, or where it was. Or
similar experience to me, which we'll never know.
We feel like we did everything right in terms of handling this. We feel good. You did not take the vaccine. Neither did I, and so far we've been good. This is not to promote anything one or the other. One thing it is to promote, I think, your health. Eat well, work out, and highly encourage take the vitamins, because I think, and I've talked to you about this before as we're going to wrap up, is I think...
Oh, that's the word I was looking for. What? Preventative,
so
right. That's what the vitamins are. They're kind of like not preventative like medication, but they're like a preventative to like help you with your immune system.
To help fight it off. You'll still get it. That doesn't mean you won't get it. You'll still get it. Vitamins
but maybe, your symptoms will be less.
Listen, if you can have one person who has a low body mass index and somebody with a high body mass index, one person's going to have a much more difficult time than the other person. It's kind of what they're saying.
And now, the vitamins just help that.
Just in the midst immunity, of that. Exactly. Yeah. Not immunity, just immune system.
That's what I meant. You got to
be careful not giving bad advice.
Sorry, people. I meant immune system.
Immune system. So, yeah, and I was talking to you about this. I think, and we've seen this before now, I've called it ahead of time that this is just going to be our new normal, I think. I think it's just what's going to happen is after one variant, it's going to be another variant. After that, it's going to be another, and so I don't think this is really ever going to leave. So I think what we need to do is just really focus on strengthening the immune system that, obviously follow the science and all that stuff that's being recommended to you, but focus on your immune system as well. Eat well, work out, take vitamins, and, take the vaccine if you need to, if you feel like you're falling in the category. But other than that, just give yourself a fighting chance against all of this.
Be healthy.
I think it really does work.
Right.
But
absolutely.
Thanks for listening. This has been great.
Thanks, guys. Hope you liked my story.
Yeah. Wow. Really slow.
I was building up suspense. They didn't know what I was going to say.
She's like, what do we think before?
Crazy. Was I going to say story?
Yeah.
Was I going to say...
You're so
something
not.
else. What else was I going to say?
I'm going to get you a prescription for Adderall. That's what I'm going to get you.
I don't need Adderall. I just need I can't remember. Like memory medication.
Go take some of that Alpha Bright. See if it works for you. Please subscribe if you haven't. Rate and review if you have a chance wherever you are. It helps the algorithm to help promote this podcast. Let us know in the comment section. What do you guys, if you guys have your own experience with this, we'd love to hear it.
Give us a shout out on Instagram if you like it.
Tag us in there. We'll reshare your story. We love hearing that you guys listening or watching these podcasts. Like I said, go check it out on YouTube if you haven't yet already. Next Door Neighbors, everywhere podcasts are streamed.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you guys for listening.
Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching our Next Door Neighbors podcast.
And be sure to capture the full episode anywhere podcasts are streamed and including our YouTube channel, Next Door Neighbors.